Hey everyone, it's Dave from Dave's Ohio Barbecue. Today we are going to be doing bone-in pork chops on the charcoal grill. Stick around. Now I know what you're saying. You're saying, Dave, why are you bothering doing a video about something as simple as grilling pork chops? I find that a lot of people like watching my videos that explain things that are, kind of basic. It's really geared towards people that are new to grilling. Maybe it's their first time buying a Weber Kettle. Maybe it's their first time with any sort of charcoal grill. And this kind of will give them a nice, detailed run through of the best way to achieve really good results on your grill. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a full chimney of charcoal going. Now the charcoal I have in this chimney is actually a mixture of Weber briquettes and Kingsford Professional. Is there any reason why I'm using those two? Well, kinda. I had two bags that were almost empty, one of each, and together they made a full chimney, so I just dumped them together. Really no preference over each one. That's just what I'm using. So I'm going to light it. It's a little windy out today, so I'm going to use 2 lighter cubes to get this going. Once it's completely ashed over on top, I'm going to go and dump it into my Weber Kettle. Now, I like to pile all my charcoals on one side of the kettle. That way you're going to have a hot side, and then you're going to have a cool side. Well, not really cool. You're going to have a warm side. So once I dump them in there, I'm going to take my tongs, arrange them into the best, formation that I can get, all kind of pushed over to one side. As you can see by my grill grate, it has not been cleaned in a while. So I'm going to put that on the grill, put the lid on, let it heat back up. Then I'm going to use my grill brush to really, scrub it down real good. Now, with these pork chops, before I started grilling them, about 4 hours before, I took some kosher salt and I salted both sides of the pork chop. The reason I do that is because it is a way of brining the pork. Pork by itself usually gets dry, and if you don't brine it, you don't add some salt content to the meat itself, it tends to get a little shoe leathery, it tends to get a little tough. So by putting a little bit of salt on the outside, well before you grill it, like in my case 4 hours, what happens is the salt draws all the moisture out of the meat, okay? And then the meat, looking for some sort of stasis, will suck the moisture back in. But now it's not just pork juice, now it's salty pork juice, so that gets distributed all throughout the pork chop, keeps it moist, makes it taste delicious. About a half hour before I put it on the griddle, most of these pork chops are going to get dusted with my favorite pork rub. I'm just using a pork barrel barbecue rub, which I really like on pork chops. Some of them are going to stay plain because I've got a couple members of my family that are not big fans of spice, so we'll leave those plain for them. So now that I've got the grill all heated up, I'm going to take a wad of paper towel and some vegetable oil, and I'm just going to rub it down just to kind of, lubricate the grate. Otherwise your meat might stick to it pretty good, and you always want to just keep building up that layer of oil so that the grill grate will stay in prime condition. So I'm going to start out on the hot side. I'm going to put the pork chops down, and I'm going to give them about 2 or 3 minutes aside. On that hot side, that's going to build up that crust, that's going to get that sear on the pork chops that everyone's looking for. After about 2 minutes, I flip it over and I do the other side for about the same amount of time, 2-3 minutes. Okay. So now if you have thick pork chops like mine are about 1 inch thick, they're not done in the middle right now. You've got a good sear on both sides, but they're not cooked. You don't want to be eating raw pork. So I move them to the cooler side of the grill, put the lid on, and I'm going to slowly cook them until they come up to temperature. If you've got ones that are about 1 inch thick, you probably want to bring them up to their done temperature, which 145, 150 if you're a wimp, will be really good for pork chops. Any higher than that, you're really going to dry them out. If you have thick ones, thick pork chops that are thicker than 1 inch, what I like to do, and if you really want to flex your barbecue muscles, is bring those pork chops up to about 140 on the cool side, and then take them off. That thick of a pork chop has enough internal mass that the carryover heat is going to continue cooking it to 145, 146, and you are going to have perfect pork chops by the time these have rested for a little bit. And that's a key. You have to let them rest. When you take them off the grill, 5-10 minutes, sit. Don't do anything with them. Just put them on a plate, let them sit. Because if you cut into these pork chops right now, all the juice and all the flavor is just going to gush out onto the plate, and you're just going to end up with, a hockey puck, and that's not good. So let them rest. 5 to 10 minutes tops. Perfect. As always, thanks for watching. Make sure that you follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Dave's Ohio Barbecue. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell next to the subscription button down there. That way when I make new videos, you will get a notification. And it's summertime here in Ohio, so I'm going to have a lot more videos coming out really soon. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.